Okay, I wanted to go over a few tips and tricks for caulking and just mention a few things that might make your life easier. First is get yourself a quality caulk gun with big high leverage handles, allows you to pivot the tube. Don't use those sheet metal caulk guns, they're garbage, it's not even worth owning. Get yourself a good one. This I think is a cobalt because I think I recently exchanged it, but anyways, I think this is a Lowe's item number 0525857, model LGS-138C. There's a couple different brands of these out there, but and they look similar, but you know, get yourself a nice caulking gun. Second, I just want to talk about this particular adhesive. This brand is what you typically find in Lowe's Loctite, but it's a urethane adhesive, and this roof and flashing sealant, this stuff is absolutely incredible. It will stick on metal. I've had real good success with it sticking on plastic. It's just unbelievable. I mean, it's a sealant, it's an adhesive. One big advantage of urethanes over caulk is that, like the urethanes for your windshield, for example, once you expose fresh adhesive, so you cut the windshield out and you've got a fresh layer of urethane, you can go right over top of it with your new urethane and it'll stick to the old urethane. Silicone won't do that. But anyways, so this stuff dries extremely tough. I mean, it's like rubber in there, and you can see that tip is just plugged. So you know, it's real common. You go to get your caulk or your sealant, and you know, you're squeezing it and squeezing it, and this thing is just plugged. I mean, plug. And I do different things, you know, I tape the ends, and we'll talk about that later. But anyways, you know, after a year or two or more, I mean, they're plugged. And so a lot of times you'll have good sealant in here, but from like here up to the tip is totally dry, just like a rubber plug. One way to get that out now, you know, you can stab a screwdriver in there, but a lot of times if you do that, you might get a little bit to come out, but then that hole will close back up. You can take a piece of 3/8 copper and just chuck it in your drill and smash it like that. And then what you do is you take a file. Now pay attention to which way your file cuts. This one cuts down, so I want my tube going counterclockwise. And you just cut like a bevel and sharpen that edge a little bit, and then just deburr it some. Now what I'm gonna do is take this and run it into this tube and try to basically cut a core. Now this is going to be difficult on this one, probably more so than silicone, but it still works fairly good. And you know, I try to go all the way through, but if I can't, if I get stopped, then what I'll do is I'll back it out and try to pull out some of the remaining, just kind of what's been loosened in there. But anyways, oh, and then the next thing is just make sure that, you know, typically I cut these with a pretty small hole to begin with, and then when I go back to reuse them, I cut a bigger hole. So I have cut this tip off, and it's big enough now to stick the 3/8 copper into. So you can see it kind of worming its way down inside of there. Now I'm completely in there. So now you can see where I cut. I've got a you know, I kind of cut the core out of that, and you can see it kind of spilling out now. So, and you saw when I was squeezing this pretty hard, and absolutely nothing was coming out of it. So let's see what we got now. Okay, there we go. So, you know, it loosened up a lot, it cut out a lot, and so you're just gonna kind of discard that excess, and now I've got fresh sealant. So anyways, one little tip to smooth out caulk, or even urethane, but works better with caulk, is you know, we all keep this leak detector on our vans, and all you got to do is just spray it down, spray your finger down. Of course, you know, you want to, like if you got a big line set hole or something, you want to apply your caulk before you spray this, because this will keep it from sticking. So you want to get your caulk in there, but you can see it just allows you to, and you know, it does work pretty good on this urethane. But one thing that works the best on urethanes is isopropyl alcohol, which I just keep in a spray bottle. I use it a lot for cleaning surfaces before I apply an adhesive, and just cleaning things in general. But it works really well for cleaning urethanes. So you want to mop up the excess, and then you're left with kind of like a sticky film. This stuff is incredibly sticky. It's again, it's way better than caulk, but you know, sometimes you need clear caulk. But anyways, spray it down. You can see the alcohol is starting to dissolve it. And alcohol is pretty much the only thing that'll get it off your hands as well. So then, once you're finished, sometimes you can stick a nail down in here to kind of help prevent clogs, but honestly, sometimes those nails are incredibly difficult to get out of there if it does dry around the nail. So anymore, I just take some good Super 33 electrical tape, and you just cross over that way. So I've crossed over that way. I'll wrap it around and cross over the other way. So I'm starting to cover up that hole, and then I go around and up like that, and just try to cover that. And then whether you're taping up wires or whatever, if you're gonna take it off eventually, just do yourself a favor and leave a little pull tab like that. So anyways, just a few tips for caulking. I know we all do a lot of it, and it's super frustrating when you can't get the caulk out of the tube, but this works really well. I did another video before this where I cleared this one. This is a really old tube. Again, it's a urethane as well, just a concrete. It's gray, made for patching holes in concrete, but it cleared that just perfectly. So it does work well, and you can just, you know, chuck that in the trash when you're done with it. We all keep tons of this 3/8 copper around, so easy to come by. But anyways, guys, hope that helps.